To the ongoing murder trial of former Mount Carmel Dr. William Husel, the prosecution rests its case. Husel stands accused of killing 14 of his patients through overprescribing medications. Chief Investigative Reporter Bennett Haberly joining us live from the Franklin County Courthouse with the latest in the case. Bennett.
Good evening. Over the past 6 weeks, prosecutors called more than 50 witnesses to testify in this trial. Those included 2 medical experts who testified that the dosages Husel ordered would have accelerated the deaths of these patients. Jurors also heard testimony from nurses who worked with Dr. Husel, said they trusted him, and from the family members of patients.
Gotta make yourself comfortable there in the seat.
Brian Millett became the prosecution's final witness, describing his final moments with his father Danny inside Mount Carmel's ICU.
I was able to hold my father's hand as he took his last breath.
Brian testified his father coded several times and was brought back, but wouldn't have wanted to live long-term on a ventilator. Still, he felt Dr. Husel was somewhat hasty in convincing the family to remove life support.
There's a few of us that were a little reserved about that because we kind of felt like it was a little hasty, that Dr. Husel was kind of making that decision a little too soon for us. But the consensus was generally that my father wouldn't want to live again long-term on any type of machines. And that's when we decided to put him in God's hands.
After the prosecution rested and the jurors were sent home, Husel's legal defense team argued a motion for acquittal, claiming the evidence in this trial has been insufficient. Judge Michael Holbrook dismissed it, but the arguments offered a window into the defense team's case. They allege it was the patient's conditions and the removal of life support that killed these 14 people, not Husel's drug orders.
Danny Millett, 4 heart attacks. Bonnie Austin, 5 heart attacks. Beverly Schertzinger, heart attack.
Defense attorney Jaime Lapidus argued Ohio law protects physicians who provide comfort care in good faith, even if an unintended consequence is that it hastens death.
The bad is not death, because death will always happen when someone is terminal and you withdraw their life support. The bad is dying without dignity and suffering in front of your family, which this man clearly never wanted that to happen for any of his patients.
Prosecutor David Zion reiterated a familiar refrain from his side.
You still cannot purposely cause the death of another. You cannot purposely cause the death of a dying man or a woman. You can't do it. That's murder. And that's what he did here, clearly by these doses.
And tomorrow, the defense is expected to call its first witness. We do expect some back and forth over the course of this week as the prosecution plans to challenge the qualifications of some of the defense's expert witnesses. The jury will be back here tomorrow. For now, reporting live inside the Franklin County Courthouse, Bennett Haberly, 10 TV News.
Bennett, thank you, and we will continue to stay on top of this trial as the defense begins to present its case. You can watch the trial each day on our streaming platforms.